to Fusión Latina right here in 88.9 FM, Sirius Jazz. Again, you can hear it online at SiriusJazz.org. Your favorite station, 24 hours of great programming, but we invite you to keep it locked right here where you got it for more wonderful music. Well, my name is Viviam Maria Lopez. It's Viviam ending with an M like in music. And I host the show Fusión Latina, the Latin music show of Monday through Fridays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. here in 88.9 FM. And also I'm a vice president for the board of trustees for WDNA. Wonderful, and that is the music of Carlos Oliva y los Sobrinos del Juez. This is from their recording Crossing Over, and this is a Miami group. Of course, one of the creators of the Miami sound. Beautiful celebration, or Vivo Celebrando. I started at WDNA in 1995, and I had the opportunity of coming here as a volunteer originally during one of the fund drives, spring fund drive. Again, I had graduated from university, from broadcasting, and I said to myself, I have to get involved with radio. This is what I love. And so in 1995, I had the opportunity of joining as a volunteer. Since the beginning, I was doing Fusión Latina, and then after that, I continued getting more involved with the music library for the station, and later on as a board member. I studied communications. My background is public relations and communications. I went to University of Puerto Rico. I always wanted to get involved first with radio, which is my passion, my love. Listening to the music that would always be playing at my house. My mom and my dad would love to dance. In my family there are musicians. I studied music as well. So I always had this great passion for music, and I said, what's the best thing that I can do combining music and radio and having them both, and of course public radio, community radio, which gives us an opportunity to reach an audience that looks for a cultural, it's like a cultural audience. It's a little bit different than commercial radio. I used to play bass, electric bass, but I also do some music writing about interview different artists, and I do like music journalism, investigation of particularly Cuban music, the old Cuban music from the 1950s. But I believe the same thing, that having all that as a background, but then not devoting myself completely to music, but saying, let's utilize radio as a way of showing the world our beautiful music. This is why I decided that instead of continuing playing music, I could do it over the air and then take our music and our message through their airwaves and now through the internet. Fusión Latina is heard every weeknight, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 p.m. And it's Latin music. You could have to say fusión means fusion in English, so it's really a blend of Latin sounds, including Cuban music, Afro-Cuban music with Latin jazz, and we also incorporate music from different countries that have the Latin sound. In other words, we can bring music from Haiti, from Venezuela, from Colombia, from Europe, from Africa, all that combined to make a nice fusion that again has that Latin sound, and it's just a very beautiful blend. This is why I think our audience is nice and mixed, because Latin music is going around the world, is being loved around the world, and I think that's why our audience is not just Hispanics who like it, but people, Europeans, North Americans, Anglos, we all love it, and I think the audience is really enjoying the kind of music. I think I enjoy every single second that I'm on the air. The fact of knowing that there is a broad audience listening to us, enjoying our kind of music, the fact that I can introduce new artists to the audience, the fact that we can support so much our talent that we have not just in Miami, but of course all over the world. I think it's such a great opportunity that we are presenting this kind of music. And also I just enjoy myself from beginning to end. I dance. People who have seen me do the show, they say sometimes that it looks like if I had a live audience with me because I'm talking and I'm moving my hands and I'm going like that, and I laugh. And my family is Cuban, my parents and all my family is Cuban, but they left in 1961 and they exiled in Puerto Rico. I was born in Puerto Rico, and I went to school in Puerto Rico, and then I came to Miami in 1988 after I had graduated from the university. So that's one thing that has been hard for me. Being in front of the camera has always been great for me. I feel comfortable on TV, and I've done things like a calendar and many other commercials, and it's beautiful. I enjoy the fact that people can see who I am, but the mystery, the the magic that radio just has completely captivated me. So I would probably have to say that I enjoy so much more the radio because, again, it uses much more the imagination of the audience, as I can convey a message, a feeling, a mood to them. And I really think that the radio part of it and utilizing the imagination and the feeling and the emotions is very important. So I love flamenco. But certainly my roots are Latin, my family's Cuban, so oh gosh, Cuban music is just my favorite. So I love to dance to Latin music, Cuban music, so that would definitely have to be. Favorite movie? This may not be a particular movie, a movie per se, but it's a TV show that was filmed in the 1950s in Cuba. It's called La Tremenda Corte, which is out of a character called Tres Patines. And this was filmed back in the 50s and the early 60s in Cuba, but the funny thing is that it's still being played on TV here in Miami, and people sell that very much, and it's incredible how it was written 50 years ago and it was like so ahead of its time that even nowadays people see it and they laugh so hard, and all the themes are so actual, and it was done 50 years ago. My time is very limited because between doing the shows, I also get involved with other events of the station, also being part of the board takes up a lot of time and effort. I also handle the Latin music library for the station, getting all the new music that arrives. So the time is very, very short for me, but I do support the arts very much. Like I said, with theater, other painters and artists of the community, I interview them, I try to give them promotion. Another thing is I'm involved in other organizations such as Big Brothers Big Sisters of Greater Miami, the children who are, we say, the future of Miami and of the world. So yes, the limited time that I have, I try to devote it to the community because I think it's a very important thing to do. Well, that's a difficult question. I admire many figures of music and of our community. And this is someone who's not really, I don't know if I can I say God? If I could have him, imagine on my show, that would be that would be beautiful for me, I guess. It's hard for me to answer if I have a favorite song. You know why? Because I'm constantly listening to new music and old music. In other words, all the new music that comes to the station goes through, well, the Latin music that comes through the station comes through me first, which means that I have to completely be feeding off that new music. At the same time, since for me it's so important to maintain the roots of our music, I'm all the time balancing myself with the brand new music and the brand new recordings with the traditional old music that cannot be lost because it's part of what the roots of what new music is. Talking about the best is I've had great interviews. I've had the wonderful blessing of having great interviews. Israel Lopez Cachao, Bebo Valdez, other legends who are now in their 80s or 90s, and they continue playing music beautifully, and it's such an inspiration to young musicians and to all of us that being at this age, 89, 90 years old, they are still very busy in music. So I would have to say there are many wonderful Fusion Latinas that I've had many wonderful interviews having them. I even had last year Andy Garcia, the great actor, and I've had other painters and sculptors, because I don't like to just keep it as music. I sometimes like to invite artists of our community to also express their art and give them an opportunity to get to the audience to know them. Okay, my show in 3 words, maybe we can do fun, culturally enriching, I don't know if that could be a word, and interesting in many ways. I love being a part of 88.9 FM WDNA. I support, again, the community very much. I love the fact that we have a station in Miami such as this one that really fully supports our community, the culture, that has made it for so many years an important point to support our artists of all the different kinds of cultures that live in Miami. We are that melting pot, and I think 88.9 FM represents a lot what Miami is all about. And again, I feel proud to be part of what 88.9 FM and WDNA is all about.
Vivo repartiendo cariño y felicidad, celebrando, baila, que yo sé que te está gustando. Vivo repartiendo, ay Dios.
I'm Viviam Maria Lopez from Fusión Latina, right here in 88.9 FM, WDNA. And do you, uVu?
Repartiendo